talk. I wanted to ask you about that transition. From being a fighter to being an analyst. I think it's. I personally feel like it looked like it's tougher than maybe some people actually realize. But I want you to talk about like what that was like going from that.
Well, it's another art form, man. A lot of fighters that transition into the commentary role, some of it comes easy for them, like Paulie Malignaggi. When he first came on the scene, he was fantastic at doing it. Andre Ward, another one, well polished. And if you really pay attention to the fighters that are on the scene doing the commentary, they were boxers. Boxers, not sluggers, boxers. You got to have like almost like an analytical mindset and approach to the game. Um, you got to know various strategies, various styles. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, man. But just as you said, it's not an easy transition. It wasn't for me, at least. I remember starting off, and that damn little red light that popped on, man, scared the hell out of me. you know, it's like we're live, and I'm like, I can't mess up. I got to be perfect. You have all these things that are going through your mind, and you're trying to relay a message. But man, you get used to it after a while. I had some really good coaches along the way. Joe Tessitore helped me out a lot. Mark Kriegel as well, just the entire team. Bernardo Osuna as well. These guys are all experienced, analysts, reporters slash hosts, you name it. They done it all in the industry. So they kind of guided me and helped me kind of create my lane in the sport. And so little by little, it was just a lot of time, a lot of studying. But I know right out the gate, man, I sucked. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I I was mad at my damn self. I was like, what am I saying? What am I doing, man? I mean, I was mad at my damn self, and then I heard all the noise out there, and everybody saying, get this man up off of TV. He ain't ready." And I took that all in, and I just again, I approached it like just like the sport of boxing, man. I was just like, I'm gonna get a little bit better each time out. I'm gonna try to get a little bit better. I'm gonna start studying. I'm gonna start researching. I'm gonna start studying different analysts. I'm going to find my groove sooner than later, and I have.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I was telling you this. We was talking yesterday. I was saying like uh, the improvement has been
Mm-hmm.
crazy from where you started to where you are now. Like just the way I feel like you're able to punch in and with certain things, and just like anybody else. Watching, I may not agree with every single point you make and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not really what makes somebody good. And I think that's one of the things people have to understand, right? You can't say that an analyst isn't good because you disagree with them.
Mm-hmm.
That it's what it really is. It's just a conversation. You don't get a chance to get back and say back to them. But I heard what Tim just said. I as maybe we talking about 5% of the people that watch boxing actually know what they're looking at. I may be an actual informed or educated boxing fan, and I think differently than what Tim just said. But did Tim convey his point in a way that is like he backed it up? You know what I mean? Maybe I
Mm-hmm.
still disagree, but did he back it up? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what I feel like I see with the way the way you convey stuff now. So I think it definitely I agree. I feel like it's mad improvement from the beginning to where it is now.
Well, I just take a an approach where I get this is what my job entails. I get paid for my opinion. I get paid to be myself. That's what commentary is. That's what TV is. People don't realize that, man. It's just you have to be yourself. Um, and don't be anybody else but that. But my approach is informing the fans about what I see from my perspective of me being a fighter lacing up the glove against Manny Pacquiao, Marquez, and winning 5 world championships. I can take you into the minds of fighters. I can take you into strategy. I can take you into feeling. So when you talk about like certain fans that are been around boxing and watching boxing for a very long time, and they heard certain things be said, and like you said, some things that I say you don't agree with, and I don't expect everyone to agree with what I'm saying. However, my stance and where I sit and it's different because again, I've done it. I've done it, man. So I can always share feeling. You can't share the feeling. You know what I'm saying? I can always share feeling. Whether you believe me or not, I can always share, hey, this guy feeling this way. And just to give you an example, the other week, I was talking about Jared Anderson, and I was talking about him. I don't think he was in shape for the fight. And I was talking about where it affects you most, and it was his legs. In between the round, he points to his legs because I know me being a fighter, so I can share those type of points of view with you, and then it comes to the light when he's saying my legs, I can't feel my legs. Whereas fans that have watched it for a very long time, they've never had that experience. So that's where I come in. I'm different.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And I think what's dope too is that um, you don't like when you're commentating, it doesn't come off as you're like spouting, oh, I did this, I did this, I did this. It just comes through. The expertise just
Yeah.
kind of comes through, and the experience just kind of comes through, which I think is good because what I sometimes what you'll see with you when you have a fighter turn analyst, they're essentially using the analyst platform to continue to talk about their own accomplishments.
Mm.
And that is like it gets to be secondary to what actually is the task at hand at that point, which is to call the fight and to make it more clear to the viewer. And but I don't think that I ever see that with you. I don't think I ever. I can't recall, and I pretty much watch all these joints. I can't recall ever seeing that. So I think that's another like awesome aspect of it. And like you said from the beginning, man, just the continued growth over
Mm-hmm.
and over and over again. Like I got this thing where I see fighters as human beings. I don't necessarily see them as just fighters. And
Absolutely, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so when I'm looking at you doing this job, I'm looking at it the same way I was looking at it when you first started fighting or when a fighter first starts fighting. They're getting better.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
every single outing, they're getting
Yep.
better. And then you can look and see who been working on their craft,
Mm-hmm.
who been trying to do this, who like I remember I was watching this thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was watching this thing, man. Daniel Cormier, the
Yeah, I
former
know
UFC
Cormier.
champ. Yeah, he was talking to Dominic Cruz, another fighter turned analyst, just recently retired, and Dominic was accusing him of not watching film.
Oh,
He was like, "You don't watch film. That's why I don't really listen to your analysis." And
wow.
DC was pissed at that. Because he was like, "Bro, you gonna say this on national television? Like
Oh,
like this is bogus." But I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you something. It made DC better.
Uh-huh.
It made him a better analyst because the competitor in him, that same competitor that was a fighter, was like, dude, you just said this about me, and the thing of it is, it's not true.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, so I see that. I see that even with what you're doing now.
Well, the to add on that, since we're going down that truth lane, I feel like what separates me is my truth. I'm not afraid to ruffle feathers, whereas a lot of analysts are afraid to receive what comes with actually speaking your truth. Um, I have an opinion, or I oppose criticism towards a fighter, but I also tell them why I'm saying it. it's just I just don't just formulate a statement about a fighter and not explain why. I'm always giving them and dropping them little nuggets here and there, little gems here and there to help them improve. And a lot of fighters, if they were to listen, their overall game will improve little by little if they just hear me out. But me being a fighter, I know exactly how these fighters are going to react. I know they're going to be sensitive about it because we work so damn hard in the gym to perfect our craft. We've been doing this since, knee high and sacrificing and putting in work every day in the gym, man. And you feel some type of way when someone has a negative opinion or a negative, anything negative to say about you and what you're doing. So I know what comes with that. But other commentators, they don't want it. They want to stay neutral. They want to stay on the fence. With me, it's always been straight up. I call a spade, a heart, and I think that the fans appreciate that. Some fans appreciate it, and some fans they get a little hurt about it because I'm talking about their favorite fighter. So, but what I've learned though, B, is that you got to balance it out. So, what does Stephen A. Smith say in the beginning? Well, he'll say something positive about a person,
Yeah, sandwich
and
method.
then he'll come with the negative, right? So that's balance. So I'm learning that as well. Like balance it out, Tim. You can give the good, and you also can give the bad, not just the bad alone.